Hello everyone and welcome. This is Lisa. Today I'd like to share a technique with you called no line coloring, except we're going to do it on black cardstock. Now I know no line coloring is nothing new. We've seen it done on watercolor paper and white paper, but this time we're going to be using black cardstock. And we're surprisingly enough not using white pigment ink because none of us have a week to wait for it to dry. So that being said, I'm using the Floral Statements stamp set. This is not a new set for this catalog this year. It came out last year, but I thought it would be perfect for this project. So what we will need to use is regular wax-based pencils, not watercolor pencils because they're too translucent. We need to use regular pencils. I'm using Prismacolor pencils and Polychromos. They do not need to be expensive pencils. Your kids' Crayola pencils are just fine. Those things I've just set down to the side are blending stumps. They're basically compressed paper. And here is my favorite StazOn ink. I am so happy that Stampin' Up! Brought it back this year because it's like not having lipstick if you don't have StazOn. And here I've just swatched out some colors to see which ones I'd like to use for my project. And what I'm trying to show you here is that you can use the back of the stamp or the front cover that has the images as your reference. If you get lost, sometimes it's a little hard to see or you can't tell if it's a leaf or a bottom of a flower, you can go ahead and look at that and that'll help you. Also Google pictures on whatever you're looking for, apple blossoms or whatever, and you can find really good pictures that you can follow. So I have everything in my Stamparatus set up, and I have my black StazOn ink, and yes, I have it in here upside down, but that's how I work. You will see me use it upside down, right side up, sideways, who knows, as long as it gets the job done. So we're going to ink this up really, really well. And we're going to do it twice. I love the smell of StazOn. It smells like almonds. So this is one of my favorite inks. So we're going to bring it in and press firmly down. And even though the first time we get a good image, which I'm sorry to say I didn't bring down for you to see, we are going to go ahead and do this twice just to be sure that we have a really good coverage and a good clear image for us to follow. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out of here, show you that you can see it. I have a little public service announcement here for you. If you use StazOn, use the StazOn cleaner on your red rubber stamps, but only on your red rubber stamps, not on your clear stamps. It will harm them. So there you can see it, and I'm going to adjust my lighting and put my glasses on so that I can see what I'm doing. And you can see the shine and the shimmer there. It is a little bit darker than the black cardstock, so this is what's going to help us out. It's really important that you have a good white pencil. This is probably key to the success in getting this colored. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you turn your paper to however is easiest for you to work. Don't just try to keep it straight in front of you. If you need to turn it sideways, don't forget to do that. And StazOn dries almost immediately, but you don't have to heat set it or anything, but I'm just showing you that I touched it and I don't have a black thumb, so we're good to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lightly sketch around everything so we can sort of see where we are and know what we're looking at. What I'm showing you here is don't hold the pencil at the bottom with the 5-finger death grip. Hold it back nice and easy, nice and relaxed, and just gently sketch. Take your time. Coloring is very therapeutic. And as you can see, I'm just sort of going over the whole image and sort of tracing in there the outlines of everything. And I do have to go back and look at the image of the stamp for reference. You'll see me pull that out here in just a minute. This is such a pretty stamp set. I just love it so much. So see, I couldn't tell if I was looking at the bottom of the flower or a leaf, so that's very helpful to have that handy for you. Also, it's hard to tell where the letters are because there's vines and leaves and flowers all in amongst them. So by doing this, it really helps you to see better. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and so that you don't have to listen to me talk through the whole thing, I'm going to turn on some music so you can enjoy, and I'll catch up with you at the end. Okay, we're just finishing up here. This is a piece of Blushing Bride that I'm going to layer behind this masterpiece that we've just created. That's kind of funny because I'll tell you a story in just a couple of minutes when I get to that part of the video. And of course I can't get anything on straight ever. That's why I usually use glue, but I used my snail today. So as soon as I can get this card together, I'll tell you my little story. This is just a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 inch white cardstock, and I've scored it and folded it at 5 1/2, so it's a side folding card. And then I'm just going to place my layered pieces there on top. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes to do the coloring and all the blending on this card, so I could only speed it up so fast on the video. So you got to hear some really great music from my friends at Bensound, so give a shout out to them. Thanks, guys. So I set this down and I went and got myself a cup of coffee, and I came back and I thought, oh man, this needs some help for sure. So I thought about what to do, and I realized that the hello just kind of blended in. You couldn't see it very well, and the flowers really didn't have any distinction. So I doctored it up a little using a micron pen and added some more color, and I put some Wing of Stella on the letters and then colored over the top of that with the white pencil. So I think it looks a little better now. If I had to do it again, I would put smaller pearls on there, I think. But anyway, that's what it looked like before I fixed it. And then you just saw the picture as what it actually ended up looking like. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you spending time with me. Have a good one and happy crafting.